So you've just seen me clear out my cropped jackets, cropped coats, waistcoats and leather jackets, and if you haven't seen that video I will link it up here and in the description down below. There were lots of opinions about fit and what is the correct fit on that video. I thought it made an interesting conversation because I think personally that we sew so that we can create the clothes that we love. The pieces that I said that I didn't particularly love on me because I thought they were too big for me, that's my personal preference on fit. Now I still have those pieces. Mum actually took a couple of the waistcoats for herself and she is going to alter them, but I'm hoping to get my replacements done for those pieces so that I can show you a side by side of me wearing the original and me wearing the one that I think is then fitted to myself. Again, it's my personal preference for how I want my clothes to look on me when I'm wearing them, and I do prefer a tighter fit, which I know isn't going to be for everybody, but it is my preference. And that's the beautiful thing about sewing, is that you can make what you want how you want to look the way that you want. Now having said all that, I have got all of my patterns for those types of garments out. We've got Boleros suits, the wardrobe patterns, which I'll show you first, jackets, bomber jackets, waistcoats and cropped jackets. I'm going to go through these patterns and try and decide which ones I want to keep and which ones I am going to put in my giant pile. I've got well over 100 patterns over there of patterns that I want to sell. First up, we're going to have the what I've classified as wardrobe patterns. These are patterns that have multiple pieces in them. This one is the New Look 6182, which is a very lovely Nancy sent to me as a gift, and it has what is probably more a top than it is a waistcoat, a skirt and a pair of trousers in it. I think depending on the fabric choices that you made, you could make that into a proper waistcoat, although it does have kind of lacing on the back, which again, I mean, you have the little belt, the sash tie at the back of waistcoats as well. I really like this. I love the kind of bias cut skirt. I love the shapes of the top waistcoat things. I've put it in this particular category in my pattern collection because I couldn't think of a different one for it to go in. If I have other patterns like this that have gone into different categories, it's usually because I like the one piece from the wardrobe, so that's why it's gone into the predominantly top pattern selection, because that's the bit that I like the most out of that collection, as it were. This was a very lovely gift from the very lovely Nancy, so I'm keeping it, and at some point I will attempt to make this. And then the other one that I have is the Vogue 1643, which is a very Gucci-esque looking wardrobe. It comes with the kind of cropped jacket, the longer jacket, the dress and the skirt. I think this is absolutely gorgeous. I also don't think it's very me at all, but I saw it when it came out and I was just like, I want to try that, and I do still want to try that. And I think the skirt is absolutely amazing. I love the dress. I love the combination of the pieces together. I just don't think it's very me, which might sound daft, but it's one of those things, again, you don't, with sewing, you have to make the thing to try the thing on to see if you like the thing or not. Rita Blouse, I'm looking at you. So I bought this because I loved the look of it. I want to give some of the pieces a go. Not sure how successful they'll be for me, but I am keeping this pattern. Next up we have my suit category, which is pretty much the same as the wardrobe category, but this one is specifically a suit, and it is the McCalls 5193, and the very lovely Daisy May gave this to me in the KB pattern swap. This is what I have used to make 4 of the waistcoats, the cream one, all the button-up waistcoats basically. I absolutely love this and I think it's gorgeous. I wish I'd paid better attention to the fit. I'm going to keep this one. It comes with the jacket, the waistcoat, the skirt and the trousers. I don't think the trouser shape is for me. I don't think they're wide enough, but I do like the skirt, the jacket and the waistcoat. I can imagine trying those other 2 things, but I am going to go back and try and perfect the fit of the waistcoat, put the waist where I want it, make it fit me the way that I want it, and as I say, hopefully I will do that before Mum gets to changing those other waistcoats so that I can show you a side by side of what it looks like when it doesn't fit me as well as I would like it to, and what it looks like when it fits me the way that I want it to. And again, that's one of the beautiful things about sewing, is you can make your mind up as to what that is. Next we have Boleros. First up is the New Look 6080. I have made 2 of these and I have done a sew along for this. No, I've made 3 of these and I've done a sew along for it. I have given away one, Mum has another one, and then I still have my new Dolce & Gabbana one. I have massively tweaked the fit on this one because it was very boxy on me. I really like how my Dolce & Gabbana one has come out. I will make more of these. I do, as I say in the try on video, I think that it's not quite right with the jeans, but the jeans were ready to wear and they weren't sitting on my waist the way that I like them to. Again, personal preference. A lot of people were saying that not everything has to sit on your waist, and Empire line is flattering, or this is flattering, or that's flattering. Agreed. But personally, I like things to be on my natural waist, and those jeans weren't right for me, and I actually am going to be, or have returned those jeans, because watching that video back I really didn't like how they look. I much prefer myself in skinny jeans. Somebody else also mentioned that some of the ways that all my leather jackets being skin tight was very dated. Another thing that I have never claimed to be as fashionable. I'm wearing something that's very 1940s now, in my opinion. I personally don't care about being fashionable. I'm obviously influenced by fashion, but I really don't slavishly follow what's on trend, because I would much rather dress for my body type and what makes me comfortable than what is dictated as the current trend. So again, I prefer a closer fit and I prefer certain style lines on me than I do others. So whilst the leather jackets might look dated, I don't care. I'm never going to wear that patched one zipped up. I was just absolutely gobsmacked that I could zip it up, because I haven't been able to for the longest time. So that was kind of fun to be able to do, although I would never wear it like that. And the other one, again, I don't think it looked great with the jeans, because the jeans weren't quite high-waisted enough and the jacket is not long-waisted enough for me, so it was sitting in the wrong place. But I do think I'll get away with it with dresses on, which was probably be how I wear it anyway, because we all know I very rarely wear jeans. Anyway, the 6080, love this, keeping this. And this is a good example of, this is basically a wardrobe pattern. It comes with the jacket, the top, dress, trousers and a bag, but I am predominantly and pretty much only ever going to make the jacket, because the rest of the things, whilst nice, are not very me. So this is why that's gone into the Bolero side of things. Next up is McCalls 7289. This one I have made a bunch of. I have still got 2 in my wardrobe, although they are in the knitwear side of things, which I will be doing for you very soon, because there are a few things in that, me-made things in that knitwear cupboard that do need to be kind of reassessed, because I don't reach them very often. But I absolutely love the 2 pieces that I've got from this. You do have to be very careful about the weight of knit fabric that you use, because anything too heavy, there's lots of folded over excess pieces, and there's, I think if I did it again in a slightly heavier weight knit, I would eliminate the turn back and just do a single layer. But I absolutely love this pattern, and I think it works really well with my style, because it's cropped, so again it shows off my waist. It just, I like this. This one's staying, and I have made that one. Next we have New Look 6130. I know this was a present from somebody and I haven't written their name on it. I'm very sorry. Again, it's a crop bolero with lots of different neckline options. I like the one with the turn back collar. I like the one with the trim. Probably not so much the scallop one, because I'm not a huge fan of scallops, but I can definitely see myself attempting and making this one. I think it's, again, something that I would really enjoy wearing. Whilst I want to attempt making a suit jacket like the McCalls suit that I showed you earlier, I probably won't ever wear those because of the length of them, and I would much rather have this as a suit jacket rather than like a proper suit jacket, although I do fancy and want to give jacket tailoring a try. If any of you follow Julia Bobbin on Instagram, you will have seen the amazing tailoring that she does. Although lots of hand sewing, and I'm not sure if I've got the patience for that or not, but I would like to try it at least once for one of those kind of jackets. And I'm very tempted by a La Forme pattern, which I think Julia has used because it is so shaped, but I do think that this would end up being something that I would wear more as a suit than those would be. So keeping this one, and thank you so much to the person that gave this to me. I'm so sorry. Usually I write the names on them, and I have not done on this one, so I apologize, but thank you. It's very much appreciated, and it is staying. And then these two are exactly the same, but the different size ranges. Butterick 5232. These are from Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. And again, it's a little cropped jacket. So this is a history bounding one. Not sure of the decade that this comes from. I kind of want to say Regency because it is cropped, but I'm not sure if it is Regency. I love this, and I really want to give this a try. I think all the options are brilliant. Probably want to try, I don't know, I like them all. The only one that I'm not 100% sure on is the sleeves on D, because they are so short, but I do like the sleeves, although the same length on B, but they have the turn back. Although the sleeves on C with the turn back cuffs are amazing, and I want to borrow these cuffs for another pattern that's coming up. But yeah, I really love these, and thank you very much to Michelle for sending them to me. Right, we're into jackets, and this is the jacket that I want to put the cuffs from D onto the sleeves of this. This is Angela Clayton's 7732. I've actually done a muslin for this, and it needs a lot of tweaking. I need to add at least 3 inches so that the waist sits in the right place, but I absolutely love this. I'm going to make this as a modern jacket though, so I'm going to tweak the collar a little bit because the collar is very wide and very pointy. As I say, I'm going to put on cuffs, turn back cuffs to mirror the collar. I've got some check fabric and some plain fabric that are going to go together really nicely. I have both size bundles of this pattern as well. I think this is awesome. I think it's going to look amazing on me as an everyday jacket rather than a historic piece, because I don't history bound. So I am looking forward to getting this one made up and trying this one again, because that muslin, whilst it was interesting to get it down so that I could see how the jacket went together, and I could see like why the certain pieces were in certain directions on the, like the grain was on the bias for some so that the plaid stripes would match up, which was very clever. As I say, it needs a lot of tweaks for fit. So happy with this one. Going to make this one, have the fabric for this one, just need to find the time for this one. We have another McCalls costume pattern that I've put into my regular patterns. It's a 7733. It's a Yaya Han, a little cropped kind of like biker jacket. This one I'm not sure I'm going to keep. I really like it. I think it's a really cute jacket, but I have other ones that I think I would prefer and make over this. It's a cute pattern. It's not like calling to me the way that the other ones are, so that one is going to go. Next we have the Schnittchen Patterns limited edition holly jacket, which was, oh, my battery's dying, 2 secs, that's better. So yes, Schnittchen Patterns holly jacket. Dillick gave this to me as part of my KB pattern swap for one Christmas. As you can see, it's got a little bit of sun damage around the edges. This was featured in one of my Get the Look for Less videos as a dupe for Wales Bonner, I think it was, a Wales Bonner jacket, and I still think it's a really good dupe for that. I definitely want to try making this one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This is what I mean, where I'm excited to make that one, but I'm not overly excited to make this one, and they are fairly similar. I mean, this is press studs, this is zip, but they're similar enough in kind of style that I know I would prefer this one. Also because it has some ribbing on it at the waist, whereas this one is just cropped or shaped at the waist. Not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, definitely would prefer to make this one over that one, which is why that one's going. We have a firm favourite, the Deer and Doe Lupin jacket. As I say, I've made about 5 of these. I still have 2 in my wardrobe. Probably will make more. I really like this pattern. I don't put the welt pockets on. I did for the very first one that I made, and I just found them completely pointless. As a style piece, they, you know, they They look nice if you sew them perfectly, but if there's even a slightest kind of like error in sewing a welt pocket like that, especially in a plain fabric, if you're doing it in a pattern it's not so bad, but if it's in a plain fabric it's really obvious. So whilst I did it on the first loop-in that I made, I have omitted the welt pockets on every other one that I've made because I've just found that I never use them. They are a pain to do and get them to look perfect, and I really like my jackets without them. So I think that's just, you know, personal preference, but I love the loop-in pattern, highly recommend, we'll make it again. And then the final one that I've got in my jacket pattern stash, because as I say these are all kind of like split up into sections now, is the Vogue 1714, which is an Alexander McQueen copy or dupe for a leather jacket. I would absolutely love to make this in an amazing leather. It would be incredibly expensive because of the size of the pattern pieces. You would need to get very large skins with 0 imperfections in them, and obviously the larger the skin with the least imperfections, the higher the price for each skin. Yeah, you probably need like 1 for each sleeve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You probably need about 10 skins to do this justice, and that would be expensive. It would look amazing though. I also am considering doing this in Mora leather, which again would still be expensive but not as expensive in doing this in leather. I do have a leather in my stash that I bought specifically to make this jacket, but it is a bit stiff. And whilst that would work for some because of the skirt on this, a couple of people have made this and let me know that if the leather is not really drapey and supple, it can look a little comedy because the skirt will really stick out. There are 2 skirt options. One is a high-low, one is a peplum all the way around. I do think I would prefer this to not be completely sticky outy, so I think the leather that I have in my stash is maybe not the best choice for this. There was a Karen Millen jacket that I regretted not buying. It was in a yellow, a buttery yellow colour. It didn't have the peplum on it like this, but it was kind of this kind of moto style crossover body jacket. Again, it was one that I started scouring eBay for, but it never came up at a what I considered a reasonable price. And that we're talking 15, 16, 17 years ago, so it's just now, like, you know, anyone who's still got one keeps it because they love it. I was looking at Pittars to see if they had any leather, yellow leather, because I was thinking that would work really well for my wardrobe. It would be really cool, and they do, but I guess to say I probably need about 10 skins, which is probably looking around sort of the £200 to £300 mark just for the pieces, and then the actual terror of making that. So I'm keeping this pattern, and someday I will treat myself and pluck up the courage to actually do that. But yeah, I think it's an awesome pattern. I think it's an awesome jacket and it's going to look amazing. I just need to find the right fabric to make it in. It's also something that I do think I'd wear because it would work very well with my fit and flare dresses because of the peplum. Also, it would work really well with the kind of like pirate core thing that I really am trying to branch into, but the bottom half of that kind of aesthetic is stymieing me a bit because of the types of things that I have in my wardrobe and the types of things that I don't have. So yeah, really want to try that one at some point. We're into the bomber jacket section, of which there are 2. We have the Rigel Bomber Jacket, which I have made and I absolutely love. I have made a lot of changes to it to make it work for me. I've cropped it, I've made it less oversized. I need to tweak a little bit. The sleeves aren't quite long enough for my preference, so I'm going to add an inch to those just because the sleeves on the one that I've got currently are fine, but they would be better if they were an inch longer. I have some Lima fabric that I am going to use for my next iteration. Currently looking for cuffing for this one, a bit to match the Lima fabric. I want double fold over cuffs like I have for my Cobra Corsage one. I don't have any colour in stock at the moment that is the right colour, so I'm on the hunt for that. Nimue is looking for me as well. Thank you, Nimue. I will be doing a full tutorial on how to fully line this jacket. I have enough of the floof left that I'm going to line it with floof again. I actually haven't worn my Cobra Corsage one. I very nearly wore it out the other day, but it would have been print clashing and I kind of shied away from it because I decided that that was a step too far. So again, it's one of those ones where I've not quite got the right pieces in my wardrobe to match with it, and I'm trying to stay away from making loud print outerwear because I don't wear it that often. She says talking about making one of these with lemurs on it, but it's going to be a very cute lemur jacket, and even if it only gets worn every now and again, it's still going to be something that I'm really glad that I have. And you guys have asked for so long of how I fully line this one, so that's coming up later. And then the other bomber jacket I have is Berda Style 6359, which I'm keeping because it is specifically designed for faux fur fabric. I don't know that I would ever wear this. Lots of people, last time I did one of these pattern collection videos, which was 2017, everyone was like, oh, make one for your niece, she'll love it, and I think Ree would. But I really want to make one for me, and again, it's going to be one of those things that I just want the challenge of making it, and I will keep it and I will love it. I just don't know how often I'd wear it, but yeah, that one's staying as well. And now we're into my waistcoats, which second to last category. This one is a really interesting pattern. It's a Vogue couture pattern from Monica. It's Vogue 2690. So I'm classing this as a waistcoat because it's, I mean, probably actually it's a gilet. Oh, it's trousers as well with interesting darts on it. I don't think I would ever make this one, but I do think I would make this one. A lot of you guys liked my Vila crossover floofy waistcoaty jackety thing that I showed you in the video, and lots of you were suggesting that I try wearing that over dresses, which I totally agree with you and probably will try. I'm keeping that one more for like the inspiration because I think I want to try and make myself one which is going to fit me better, because the waist on that thing was like 2 inches above my natural waist. It doesn't cover up the boobies anymore. There's press studs on there that I've got no hope of doing up. Yeah, so I'm keeping it because I love it. I want to wear it, but I'm also keeping it for inspiration, for like tailoring it to make it in kind of my own pattern that fits me better than the current one does. Not that this is anything remotely like that, because this is not a crossover at all, but I do like this little cropped one. So thank you, Monica, for sending me this. This one is surviving in the pattern collection. We've got New Look 6013. I have made this one, and probably this ought to go in the wardrobe collection pieces rather than the waistcoat. At the moment I've only made the waistcoat. It comes with a dress, you can put sleeves onto the waistcoat to make it into a jacket or a short sleeve jacket, and trousers. No, it's going to stay in the waistcoat one, jacket one, because the dress is nice, the trousers are nice, but I probably won't ever make either. This is a fully unlined pattern, so I have lined it because personal preference, I just prefer my jackets, waistcoats and things like that fully lined. Again, like, you know, we sew because we can make exactly what we want, so that's why I fully line this one. I do think I didn't get the fit on this one quite right. I didn't add any length to the torso of it, which I always need to do, and it is to shorten the torso by about half an inch, an inch. And I know lots of people were like, wow, you're being really finicky about it being that, you know, just that small bit off, but it just makes me not want to wear it, and I just think it could look better. So again, I've kept one of these. In fact, I've kept both of these because I've done one in denim and also in, I've done one in denim, I've done one in needle cord, and I've done one in the raw silk. So I've kept two of them because the needle cord is gone, but I'm going to do a side by side because I will remake this. I also want to trace off the sleeves and use this as a jacket pattern to go over the button-up waistcoat. I think I've layered the two over each other, obviously just waistcoat over waistcoat because I haven't made the jacket yet, but I do think that that looks quite nice, the V within the button-ups. Again, I need to work on this one a little bit, but it is staying and it is a pattern that I love, so keeping that one. And then my last waistcoat pattern is Butterick 6077. I really like this, and I don't know why I haven't tried it yet. I probably will make the sleeves full length because I don't really like 3/4 length sleeves. I like the waterfall front and the waterfall back. I think this one could be interesting. It says crepe wool blends, wool crepe gabardine. For me, I immediately think that they've made it out of Ponte when I see these two on the cover. I don't know why, but I do think I would like this. So I want to give this one a try. So this one's staying as well. I've only gotten rid of one pattern. I mean, that's not overly surprising. And now we are on to blazers, or what I've termed as blazers. We have got Butterick 6400, which again, the very lovely Nancy facilitated. Thank you, Nancy. This one is another history bounding jacket. Fitted, underlined, boned jacket, has band collar, front button closure, back seaming detail with pleats, shaped hem, two-piece sleeves and purchase trims. I really like the look of this, especially A. I like A's kind of back shape. I like C as well. The one with the bow on the back, B, not so much. But yeah, I want to give this a try. I have no idea if it will work with my particular style and the sort of stuff that I like to wear, but I do want to give it a try. I think it's a beautiful pattern and it could be really interesting to make. It's underlined, so again, I'm probably going to end up putting a lining in because, again, personal preference, but I think it could be interesting. So yeah, thank you very much to Nancy for getting me that one. We've got Simplicity 1421. Now this one I got the pattern purely for the sleeve vents because there are sleeve vents on here and I wanted to know how to do those. I like it. I like the shape of it. I don't think it's going to be a very me jacket though. I much prefer the shape of the La Forme pattern, which is much more fitted and darted around the body than this one. And again, I prefer a closer fit and I prefer my clothes to hug my form rather than graze my form. So I don't think this pattern is all over for me, but I really wanted to know how to do the sleeve vents, which is why I've got this. I can't remember off the top of my, I think the La Forme pattern has it, but it is a Russian pattern that has the directions translated from Russian into English. I don't know how good the directions are because I have a couple of their patterns, but I've never made any of them up. So I'm thinking maybe I keep this one for the instructions. Depending on how good the instructions are of the La Forme pattern, maybe I don't need this one, maybe I do, but that's why this one's going to stay. By Hand London Victoria blazer. Now you can do this in 3 lengths, I think. This is the original packaging and it was one of the original patterns as well. There was this one, the Elisa Lex and the Anna. We all know how I feel about the Anna. Right, so you can do a long one, a cropped one, or a waistcoat. Rachel's made one of these and she made it in an afternoon and it looked amazing. I don't think this is for me. It's a boxy oversized fit and I've just said that I much prefer form-fitting clothes over that kind of fit. I think I maybe might like the cropped one with the right outfit. However, I am not going to get rid of this pattern because, as I say, these don't exist anymore. My inner collector loves the fact that I have a matching set. I have all of the By Hand London patterns that were printed, but when they became PDF only, I bought a bunch that I really liked and then I haven't bought a bunch because they weren't really me. Yeah, my inner collector wants to keep this purely and simply because then I have the set, which I mean I have the space for now. I do have space for that, so it's not like I am keeping this at the expense of getting a brand new pattern in that's going to be way more me. I have issues, we know this. Pattern collecting, fabric buying and sewing are all completely separate hobbies, right? Don't judge me too harshly. And then the very last one that I've got here, so this is a very long video, sorry, this is quite a large selection of my pattern, or part of my pattern collection, not as large as the dress patterns is going to be. That's going to be a long video. This is the Bellatrix blazer from Paper Cut Patterns. There are 2 lengths of this one. I do think I'm going to really like this one. Again, this is one of those ones that I've not tried because I'm a bit scared of tailoring and I haven't tried my hand at like specific jacket tailoring properly yet. I've done some coats though and they were pretty good, so you know, I have the books. I could give it a go. I can definitely give it a good go. This I can imagine being the kind of jacket that I like, but I do think the cropped Boleros are going to be the ones that I would actually end up wearing more. So I want to give this one a try. I think I'm going to like it, but again, not 100% sure, so we'll eventually give this a try, but yeah, not sure when and of what fabric. I need to have a look at online at the ones that other people have made because I think that was one of the reasons that I got this pattern, was because it was just like, ooh, seen other people make it, it looks amazing, so want to give that a try. So yeah. But that was the last one. So I've de-stashed one pattern, but I've actually made more of these than I thought I had. I know I have some very similar patterns that I've kept, but again, I'm not hurting for room in the pattern stash at the moment, and whilst I have downsized it massively, as you can see, I've now got storing thread where I used to store all my patterns. I don't desperately need space, and I'm trying to lower my intake of brand new patterns drastically. I haven't bought any for well over a year now. Feeling very virtuous. Which one of these are you looking forward to seeing me do? I think the next one that properly gets done, as I say, is going to be the Paper Cut Patterns Rigel Bomber Jacket for the sew along of how to fully line that jacket. And then the 2 waistcoat patterns getting reimagined, because I do have lots of suiting and lots of plans for suiting once I found the perfect trousers. And I'm just about to start on the Lucille trousers from Gertie, and I think they're going to be really good trousers for me, so it's going to be interesting to see how I get on with those. And the reason that I end up making as many waistcoats as I do is because trousers end up with, for me at least, a fairly kind of like decent sized chunk down the side of the fabric. The waistcoat pattern pieces fit onto it perfectly, which is why I ended up making so many waistcoats that didn't fit, because I just got carried away by the fact that they were stash busting projects and not wasting these like narrow pieces of fabric that I was like, what else do I do with these? Yeah, I'm going to reimagine the waistcoats, have a go at making a jacket that I like, and then also the fully lined Rigel Bomber Jacket tutorial, which when the weather cooled, I mean, mind you, it's absolutely peeing it down with rain in the middle of July, so maybe the weather has cooled down enough, although I'm still on the hunt for cuffing. So once I've got the cuffing in, then yeah, that's going to get done as well. But I would be really interested to hear which one you guys are looking forward to seeing made up next. Let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out my other pattern collections here.